Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends. Welcome to Wine Style. Today, we're going to have a lot of fun with Marnie and talk about the art of blending and to bring the famous Marnie old, spectacular sommelier, journalist, wine experts in front of eternity. Marnie, are you with us? As the bubble will bring you to life. There she is.
Of course, and I have my bubbles all ready. Thank you, Jean-Charles, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to raise a glass of number 21 with you.
Well, we forever 21, Marnie.
Yes, I hope to be.
You look like a young child. And
well, and it wouldn't do to be any less than 21 because, of course, that would separate us from our cherished elixir.
Well said. So, Marnie, let's talk about blending because this is so exciting what we are announcing. And I need to tell you, I have a lot to tell you about how I learned how to blend because you know where I come from. It's all about Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, which is single grape variety that we never blend with one another except to create bubbles. So what do we have to look forward to?
Well, we are very, very pleased to be offering our Winemaker for a Day experience. This is something that has been long the #1 and most sought after experience for those visiting Raymond Vineyards in the Napa Valley. This is an experience where you can gather with a group of friends and learn how to become a winemaker for a day by blending your own Napa Valley Red Blend using the components that are barrel samples from the winery surrounding you. Well, recently we did package this together as something that people can do at home, receiving 4 bottles of different barrel samples. That's Cabernet Sauvignon aged in neutral oak, Cabernet Sauvignon aged in new French oak, Merlot, and Cabernet Franc, as well as the equipment necessary to blend them together, an instruction book. Everything that you need is all together in your incredible blending experience kit. And I wanted to come on today and to talk a little bit more about this because coming up over the holiday weekend of Thanksgiving on November 27th at 2 p.m., you and I will be leading a version of our Winemaker for a Day blending experience live, and people will have the opportunity to learn from a master. I know you claim not to be a great blender because you come from Burgundy, where the wines are so mono-varietal, but I suspect, and I've seen the scores, Jean-Charles, I know you are quite adept at blending Napa Valley wines around Cabernet Sauvignon. You have so many to your credit now that have incredible scores.
You're so kind to say that, Marnie, and this is really how it started. So, dear friends, if you're thinking of having a lot of fun with wine, this is the right kit to get. Why? 11 years ago, when I came to Napa with Raymond Vineyards, this is how I learned about each and every single grape variety. I come from a monolithic world of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. That's all we had to play with, which is a lot, but at the same time, not as much as what we call the Napa or Bordeaux grape varieties. And Marnie, I started to learn with Stephanie Putnam, Philippe Melka, Kathy George, Stain Knudsen, our great team at Raymond, about how to blend. And this is really how the blending kit came about. And this is really my favorite activity to do, is to play, to create style, to start with a vision of what style of wine I want to make, and then to compose it. So it's like a painting, it's like a blank canvas, it's like a really large block of clay, and you imagine yourself really sculpting. And that's the fun of it. So Marnie, I'm sure for you, as well as a sommelier, as a wine list maker, as a journalist, as a writer, you love to blend too, don't you?
Well, I have to tell you, I was very intimidated at first, Jean-Charles, because as a sommelier, your job is as a buyer, you only evaluate finished wines produced by professional winemakers. And so my skill set is more on evaluation side by side and explanation to people who are curious wine drinkers. And so for me, the very first time, I remember when my kit arrived and I opened that box and I looked at those ingredients inside, I was a little bit intimidated. But once the bottles were open and we were pouring into the graduated cylinders and using the pipettes and I was tasting the results, it dawned on me that I really didn't need to be quite so scared of the process, because it is familiar. It is wine. It is something that we love. It's impeccable ingredients from one of the top producers in Napa Valley. But beyond that, when you're blending your own wine for yourself, who cares what anybody else thinks about the blend? You're blending for yourself, for your own personal tastes, for your own gratification. And
That's
so
the
there was a
point.
point, maybe it was after a few ounces of wine had been consumed, perhaps, where I started to relax and have some fun with it. And, you know, the thing I love about doing this blending session live and virtually this way, Jean-Charles, is how you and I, being on, you know, the East Coast and the West Coast, can connect across the country with people in every location where they're allowed to receive our wines. And what we can do is we can have not just a creative experience, it's almost like finger painting for adults, but with alcohol, right? But we can bond and connect with others through this experience. And that's why I think it's such a natural to include in that family-centered weekend of Thanksgiving. There's so many families that are going to be separated again this year, unable perhaps to follow their traditional travel plans of gathering in the same room. This is an amazing way to have each household receive the blending kit. It's enough for up to 4 individuals to play around with this blending lesson and connect with us as we create our own award-winning Napa Valley Red Blends.
I love this. And dear friends, don't feel at all intimidated as I felt 11 years ago. It's all about you. It's all about crafting a wine you love for yourself. So remember, wine is a reflection of your personality. Wine is a reflection of who you are. Wine is a reflection of your taste and your senses. So compose, be proud of it, and use it to display your style. So dear friends, we cannot wait to see you. And at the same time, this is an experience we'll have always on our website. You can order the kit anytime you desire to create great and fun parties and bring people together before dinner. It's a fun experience to do for 45 minutes with friends and to experience. So Marnie, I cannot wait to be with you and do it as always, and certainly for all our friends to do it all the time, part of the monthly routine.
Absolutely. And I should mention that because this is being featured in one of your JCB Live happy hours, there is, of course, a special offer for this week only through Sunday at midnight. Anyone who is purchasing their blending kit will receive an additional discount. So it's 20% off for regular customers, but of course, 30% off for our members. We're so pleased to be able to offer that special pricing, but it's only this week. If you plan to join us over the holidays, it's a good time now to put that date on your calendar. The 27th of November at 2 p.m. and we'll hope to see you there as we all blend your own wines. Oh, and we should have mentioned you'll be able to order your own blend with your own customized label afterwards if you happen to love it as much as I do.
Dear friends, we cannot wait to see you and blend together. And anytime you blend, think of us and think of the mirror of your own personality. This is all about you. Cheers.